guys, happy Sunday. Yay! So today we're going to be diving into the energetic forecast, the intuitive downloads, the collective message for this week, starting with today, April 23rd, all the way until Saturday of the upcoming week. We'll dive into the Mayan astrological message. We'll take a look at the herb for the week, and the special question that came up in the public viewers poll, as well as my YouTube members poll and my Patreon poll, of there were 4 questions that were posed, and we'll look at the winning question for that. And then I have a little viewers poll for you guys, so we'll go ahead and check that out. But if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, all the links are down below. So check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. All right, so it looks like we have some awesome homies already in here. Hey, Susie, how's it going? Lisa, hey. Lisa says, good day, peeps. Beautiful friend, lovely to see you too. Um, Susie said for Heather later. Yes, Heather's out there reconnecting to nature. Sounds like she's doing a lot of good stuff out there. Sending her lots of love. Caitlin is here. Hello, this is Mary Meet from New York, everyone. Maria's here. Hello, Lady Knight. All right. Susie said, looking good. Okay, you guys. So yeah, I thought I'd wear my new little outfit today that I got off of Etsy. It's a little like embroidered sleeve, little kind of black dress, but it's nice and light for kind of like the springtime kind of. And yeah, all the way from China. But yeah, the well, a lot of heavy spraying going on up there. So it's, I guess, not as hot as it could be. But anyway, I guess we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit of water. You guys go ahead and grab your decks, since that's what I love to do live chats for, so we can have conversation and we can work on or busting out some cards. So if people want to bust out their cards, or they want to do some intuitive downloads, or busting out your runes or whatever, go ahead and grab those. I have all of my decks set off to the side here. I'll kind of show you what I'm working with today. This is a new deck that I have, actually, called Midnight Magic. Check that out. So all about the different types of mushrooms. And then I have the Cannabis Oracle. I have the Wild Woman Rising Oracle. And then over here, the deck that I was working with last week, actually, which is the Solitary Witch. I thought I'd bring that back out since I still absolutely love the art. And of course, last but not least, my Wally's World Oracle, which, if you are interested in this deck, the link for that is down below. All right, you guys. I'm just like readjusting my hat. It does get kind of bright. Let's see. Lisa sending love to Heather. Lady Knight said pretty. And Susie said love, love, love. Caitlin said the concert is tomorrow, so I'm hiding in my hotel room until then. All right. Thank you, Lisa. She said looking lovely. Susie's got the RWS today. Little mushrooms. Yes. Kiss hug. And for Wally. All right. So I have my notes here of all of our stuff cooked up for today. But before we get started, I want to say a thank you to everybody who is subscribed to this channel. So if you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. We hang out almost every Sunday for a fun live chat. We all get together, sling some cards, talk some stuff. Who knows what comes up, as well as having there's channeling videos. And I'm going to get back to doing some deck reviews here and there, since, like I said, I have a brand new deck here, the Midnight Magic Tarot. I thought that maybe it'd be fun to do a review of that deck, since I haven't done a review in quite some time, as well as some of the short channeling videos that we have coming up. So stay tuned for all of those. But also thank you to my Patreon supporters. So on Patreon, the link for that is down below. You have different tiers to choose from depending on, what you want access to and things like that. So there's weekly guidance, there's weekly crystal posts, there's monthly crystal grids, there's monthly live chats and readings for tiers, monthly readings. So definitely go check it out. But I want to thank Surian and Brandy and Samara and Kayla, Jason, Charles, Brian, Jamie, Alexander, and Dana. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All right. And then my YouTube members, you know who they are because they have a cute little cat head next to their screen name. You see that popping up in there. There's different little cat heads depending, or cat colored heads depending on the amount of months that they have been a YouTube member. So thank you guys so much. Susie and Liesel and Heather, Kayla, Jamie, and Jamie Lynn. Thank you, thank you. All right. And then, of course, everybody who's in the chat today and everybody who checks out the videos and likes and all of that. Thank you guys very much. But I thought I would just start off with my gratitudes. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Liesel is using Tarot of the Divine. Caitlin brought with her the Foxfire, Energy, Sacred Rebels, Crystal Spirits, Black Moon Astrology cards, Crystal Grid, Divine Animals, Moonology, Manifestation, Oracle, the Fairies, and the Wild Muse. Oh my goodness. You brought yourself a load of decks with you. Susie said, yay, we have tons of decks today. Nancy, hello from Crow's Intuition. Crohn's Intuition, how are you? Says Susie, so wonderful to see you, my precious friend. Everybody's saying hello. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Edgar, what up? Says, hey, hey, how are you doing? Well, how are you doing, my friend? I'm doing pretty good. Caitlin says, I like to be prepared. All right, so let me go ahead and put this off to the side and let's start diving into this stuff. Okay, let's start off with our elemental circle. And remember that all of the magic is right here within us. We are source energy, we are source. And so we are going to cast that elemental circle, calling on the elements, which are also us, and the elementals, which are also us, to help just create a space of groundedness and clarity. So all the messages that come through are clear, concise, and for our best and highest good. All right. So let's grab our magic finger. If you guys want to go ahead and cast a circle, you can do that too. But remember, these circles transcend space and time. So whenever it is that you are watching this, wherever you are within that circle. All right. So let's see. Let's start off to the north, which is right over there. So calling in the direction of the north and elements of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the direction of the east and the elementals of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the direction of the south, the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the direction of the west and the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Our circle is cast, let our work begin, and so it is! Yay! All right. Let's see, Edgar's going traditional. He's got the RWS deck today. All right. Looking cool, looking cool. All right, so let's see. Let's dive into the Mayan astrological message for the week. So first of all, I'll start off with today. Today is 9 men. And so men, no, I'm not talking about it's raining men. I'm talking about men as it pertains to the eagle, that hawk's eye vision, eagle eye vision, that vision high and above where we gain a greater perspective of what's going on in our lives. And here we have the number 9 attached to it, which is a number of abundance. And so it's an abundance of a point of view. It's helping us to gain more clarity into the situations that arise in our lives. And so, yes, we know that we have a lot of things that could block that vision, perhaps situations or material things or, all these different things that could block that vision. But it's also taking responsibility for those blocks and knowing that for the most part, we create our reality. And so we bring that reality into us. And along with that, we bring in sometimes our own blocks, but it's for our own learning, for our own good, so that we can see our own power and to see that we can overcome those blocks if we have created those blocks. And so let's gain that eagle eye perspective. Let's gain that huge perspective up in the sky, looking down and looking at our life more objectively. Instead of becoming a victim, let's become empowered, and let's remove the things that block us from making progress, moving forward, or gaining more perspective in our life. Okay, so from today being a big day, moving on into Saturday of the upcoming week, we actually go into two Emish, and number two is all about duality. It's seeing two sides of everything, or seeing all the shades of everything. As we know, there's many shades in between. And Emish, actually, it's interesting that duality is being paired with Emish, because Emish represents the left side of reality, meaning the unseen. It's where we go in the astral, it's where we go in meditation. It's the things that we have more of a faith and belief in as the more we get connected to our higher self. And so, with that connection, we have to look at the dual nature between, the higher self and the human self, and how can we bring the two together into unison instead of living, fully in just, one universe or the other. Let's bring those multiverses together, and see how we can enrich not only our lives here, but also we can enrich the lives and beyonds that we live in. And since it is a number two, that means that we are starting a brand new Tresena the day before, which would be on that Friday. And we're starting in the week of a how, and a how is representative as, look up here, the sun. It's the illumination. It's representative of the warrior or the hero twins. And so it's all about shedding light onto our lives throughout that week. And so when we look at two Emish, if we're looking at the duality of things and everything that resides in all the realms beyond this one, how can we shed more light? Where can we bring more clarity into those things? Calling upon the sun, which many call source, which is also us. Source is not outside of us, source is right here. So, all right, that is the Mayan message. Let's see, let's go back here. What you guys are saying. Let's see, Caitlin got two cards from the Black Moon astrology: Black Moon Lilith Mystery and Aries I Am. And Susie said, great decks, Caitlin. She said, at the bottom is Grand Trine of Blessings. Nice. Love, love, love. Susie said, I drew Six of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. All right. And Kayla, how are you? And Susie said, moving forward. Yes, there we go. All right. So, the next thing I wanted to dive into is actually the herb of the week. And actually, I don't have it with me. The herb is actually sitting over there, but it's right here in this deck as well. I wanted to look at cannabis for this week. Um, I guess you can bring it over. So we had, there was many people that celebrated 420 on April 20th. And some people use it as a way to celebrate where they just, get super high. Some people celebrate the plant itself. Some people are looking at the energetic properties of it, or they're looking at the healing properties and things like that. And actually, I made a channeling video where I channeled marijuana, the energy of it, kind of looking at its reason for being here. How is it trying to help humanity, beyond just, people saying, oh, I just want to get, was stoned or whatever. But it's like, how can it aid us? How can it propel us forward? As with, all herbs here, they're all a part of us as well. They're all representations: the trees, the birds, the animals, plants. They're all representations of us that are teaching us something back. So yes, they are in essence a separate entity, but they are all also us as well, if we are all one. And so what can we learn from them, which is in essence learning from ourselves? What could we relearn? And so I'm not saying, with the video that I created, or even here saying, oh, you should go out and go do this because I said so, go smoke cannabis, but to look at the energy around it. What is your feelings towards it? How could you utilize its energy? How could you utilize it physically or non-physically? The energy, the lessons, and things like that. And so I would say in a healing sense, there are many people that definitely use it for pain management. They use it for working through a lot of emotional issues, mental health issues. There's anxiety that people use that for is eliminating depression and anxiety, kind of helping them to move through it while they actually move through the process of working on it, because there is no magical herb or plant or pill out there that takes away all our problems. They're meant to be aids for us along our journey. And we can choose to utilize that aid or not. It's always dependent on us. I've spoken before about my uncle who he uses marijuana as a part of his treatment process for his HIV. He says that a lot of the medications that he has are actually really bad for his body. So not only are they keeping him alive, but they're also kind of killing him at the same time. And so that his HIV doesn't develop into AIDS. And so he's struggled with that for a very long time. A lot of his medications cause a lot of pain in his body and they take away his appetite. And so his doctors have prescribed medical marijuana for him in order to kind of regain his appetite, lift his mood, because oftentimes those medications are exacerbate his already depressive state. And so he uses that as a way to help him. And then, like I said, it was interesting the things that I learned in the channeling. I always have to go back and rewatch my channelings. So there are a lot of medicinal benefits, and there's a lot of also spiritual benefits as well. Some people like to use it as an incense. They don't actually smoke it, but they use it in their incense blends as like an offering. You can the you know that the plant has kind of the male and female, so there's that yin and yang, that duality that's also along with it. There's the marijuana side of it, the cannabis side of it. There's hemp that people use things for. There's some people just use the CBD, which means it doesn't have the THC in it, which is the part that I guess would, make you feel a little loopy. But it's also interesting that we have all the receptors inside of us that perfectly align with this plant, as well as other things here in this world. And it's just I think interesting to take a deeper look into that. So also in celebration of, we had Earth Day yesterday, and today is actually Day of the Green Man for all of my pagan homies out there, celebrating the green man, celebrating that nature essence, that foresty essence. So reconnecting to that. So some people will make herbal blends, not necessarily with cannabis, but they'll make those herbal blends, and we do actually have them in Desert Cauldron. You just have to DM us over on Instagram. And we have different little herbal blends. They don't have cannabis in them. Of course, you can add that yourself. But I thought I would do a little ditty on this. So, ta-da! There you go. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do, do, do. Oh, wow. Hello, guys. All our birdie friends. Annette, hey. She says, hello, my beautiful friend. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, long time no see. So happy to see you. James is here. He says, I noticed this year 420 had a really cool energy. Well, James and I, well, actually, different James, my boyfriend James and I went out on a walk. It was like a little over 5 mile hike, over 12,000 some steps. But we just decided we were going to go in that direction. And we, happened upon some very interesting things. We found another archaeological Native American site that was really cool. Got to see some more interesting plants and landscape, and just it was amazing. I think, we had a lot of fun on 420. We also recorded a video out there. So that video is coming out tomorrow. We did a channeling. We're still trying to figure out what to title it, because we just kind of opened the floor to anything that wanted to speak. And so something did come forward, and James had a bunch of questions for that entity. But that entity had a lot of really interesting things to say. So a lot of food for thought. So now it's like, but what do we title it? So anyway, that's coming out tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned for that. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do, do, do. Edgar says, Susie, it's funny. Every time Tara mentions an animal, the animal suddenly appears in my life. Dude, synchronicity, man. Let's see. Caitlin said, from divine animals, I got tarantula connection. And at the bottom, peacock prosperity. Caitlin, that's interesting. that you had a peacock there, because the last part of my dream that I remember last night, I had actually the entire tail of a bird, but it was black feathers like a crow, but they were so iridescent they started to take on a peacock formation, like a peacock look and peacock colors, and I was just like, "Whoa, this is a really cool tail." And then I woke up, but yeah, so that's interesting. That just kind of like jogged my memory there. And see, Susan said, Caitlin, that sounds like a good sign for your concert. And Caitlin says, I don't know if it's for my concert or not, but I hope so. And Susan said, blessed Tara's uncle, sending healing to him. Thank you, thank you. Lots of hearts. And James said there was a YouTuber, Jason Wilcox, who advocated for AIDS patients to use cannabis. Very cool. Hey, man, anything that we could utilize for our best and highest good, of course. And Susie said, the star, going to be a good week. Hey, hey, love all the green hearts, guys. Caitlin said, Susie, it's funny. When you suggested the cards might be for my concert, I heard Brian's song, We Are Loud Like Love. And Edgar said, it rained and hailed here yesterday. Now everything is super green. Edgar, I forgot, where exactly do you live again? Because people have been talking about uh, all the weird weather going on, which, like I said, we'll get to, but I just want to get into our forecast first. But yeah, a lot of people talking about like snow coming out of nowhere, and here we are going to the end of April. People in the northern hemisphere, not even talking about the southern hemisphere, but and obviously odd stuff going on weather-wise in the southern hemisphere. But I think people waking up to kind of what's going on out there. Um, let's see. Do. Everybody sending love. Caitlin said, really? Wow. Edgar said, South Texas. It was dry. Now it's green. Oh, wow. Well, I think James lived in Texas for a while. He'd probably know better than I would what South Texas is like, maybe. Tejas. I've only been there, let's see. Oh, Houston and San Antonio. For me, I've been through, let's see, I flew into Dallas and then we drove for a really long time down into Corpus Christi. Um, and got to play in the Gulf of Mexico and everything. It was kind of odd. Like you just keep walking and the water never gets any deeper. Not like the ocean. I'm like, oh, okay. It was so freaking hot out there. Gosh, when did I go out there? It was like June or July in Texas, and there was a lot of bugs. I remember that. But I was out there for my uncle's wedding. Um, yeah, I remember Texas being big, very big, a lot of driving. But very cool. Now it sounds like it's nice and green. Nancy says, so happy I found your live, Tara. Such amazing energy. I need that. Well, excellent. We're happy to have you. Annette says, I have a new client and have encouraged her to continue to use cannabis in addition to the sessions we are doing. I consider it part of her healing journey. Exactly, and that's why I said, I think that it's good when we try to utilize all different sorts of resources when we are working on healing ourselves and recognizing that everything outside of us is also in us and everything in us is also outside of us. And so whatever modality we would like to utilize to help us on a healing journey. Of course, anything um, used to excess would be considered abuse and that wouldn't be considered healing. But anything in, let's say moderation, not anything, but most things in moderation can definitely help us to learn lessons, learn things about ourselves. And so, yeah, I get no judgment over here from me. Let's see. Do, do, do. Edgar says, did you get Selena Quintanilla's statue at Corpus Christi? I did not. I didn't really get to see much of Corpus Christi. I was mostly on the military base when I was out there because my uncle was in the Navy. So it was mostly military base, went out to the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know. I just remember running around being crazy with my cousins. I don't really remember much. Except like the wedding and then like being a goofball with my cousins, really. Let's see. Susie sending Nancy hugs. Yes, yes. Caitlin says, remember when you suggested coral rise for my lipstick? The number on it is 344, and tomorrow's April 24th, 424. Pretty close. Hey, there you go. This is, and the brand is Maybelline, New York. Okay, all right. And Susie said, because you're worth it. There we go. All right. So let's then dive into the messages for this week. And then about weather and all that interesting stuff. And while I get my cards ready, starting off with Wally's World, of course. Um, I don't know if it's true. I would have to do a little bit more research digging into it. Always do research, you guys. There was something that I saw posted on James's cousin's Instagram stories about there being somebody starting a lawsuit out in California over the chemtrails, and that in one day that person was able to raise over $12,000 for all the legal fees and everything that's going to needed for court and things like that. But a lot of people are sick and tired. They're looking up and they're finally noticing, hey, there's something going on up there. And actually, as I film this, let me put this up for you guys. It's just a hazy, liney mess up there, and it has been since yesterday. They went kind of crazy with the chemtrails yesterday. And in order to mainstream chemtrails, not using the name chemtrails, we saw a clip from ABC News. Yes, one of the mainstream news media outlets. Pointing out chemtrails, not calling them chemtrails. They were calling it, was it cloud seeding? And they showed the creator of cloud seeding, it's some dude, and they were like talking about it in the positive. They said, and isn't this great, you guys? We get to now manipulate the weather. And so they were like trying to get people hyped and happy and kind of promoting like the weather modifications that this cloud seeding is doing. It's not really cloud seeding, it's chemtrails. But they showed the airplanes that they used. They showed the little jet things or whatever that they attached to the wings of the plane with all the heavy metals that are in it. They said it was it strontium, barium, and aluminum that's in there. And they said basically they like to jet these things around in the sky, lay down a line close to a cloud. They said that cloud will like start to grow in size. And they said that there's just too many places that are in a drought, and they've been trying to give more rain. And of course, they said, you know, there's the effects where it'll have maybe negative effects in another area, but they're trying to help out the Colorado River. So they said that they're really spraying down the states that reside basically along the Colorado River, because they said they want to add more water into the river so that there's more drinking water for everyone, and it would help people get out of a drought. And they were like, and in the good news, they said people in, was it Colorado or something, they said got the most severe snowstorms that they've had in years. They were like, yay. And it's like, wait, what? And it was just so interesting, like how they're trying to spin the narrative. Like at first they're like, oh, if you see lines in the sky, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist. There's nothing up there. What you see nothing. To turning around saying, oh, oh yeah, there's stuff up there, but that's for your greater good. It's for your good. We're here to help you. That all that stuff is good for you. Like, okay, all right. Anybody who's connected to their higher self knows that that's a crock of BS. So, anywho, uh, just meditate, you guys. Go inwards. Look past all this stuff that's going on. That's how we get past the illusion. That's what I had to say about that. Okay, moving on. And also know that all of this is just helping to wake more people up. You know, remember that there's always light and dark, there's dark and light, and all of this is helping the awakening. It's helping people to kind of start tapping inwards, going inwards to their higher self. So as bad as we think things are, there's a lot of good that comes out of it as well. So I also wanted to mention that duality, that number 2 that we'll be coming up to Saturday of next week, looking at different sides of different things. Um, so let's see, while we're looking into things, what our Wally's World says as we tap into that collective consciousness. and know that we can always send light into anything. We don't have to be victims of anything. We create our reality. We have more power than we think we do. And we are not just at the whims of whoever would like to control us, you know? All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Um, Susie said, yes, I agree. They were spraying like crazy here. I thought it interesting that they were like spraying crazy, especially yesterday, Earth Day. They did it right before Easter. They did it on 420. Like now they're just out of their damn minds. Caitlin said, from the sake of rebels, I got trust yourself. There you go. Nancy said, Tara, Susie gifted me your Wally's World Oracle. I absolutely love it. Oh, I'm so glad you're digging it. And yes, Susie has been so kind, gifting my deck out to people. Thank you so much. And see, Susie said, it is criminal. Yep. But like I said, you know, it's just, I think, a certain side getting desperate because they have basically aided in our own awakening. So there we go. Maybe we can thank them for that. Annette said, our skies have been loaded with this crap lately. Sorry for the language. Hey, no worries. Susie seconds that. Susie said, aluminum too causes Alzheimer's, sadly. Yeah, oh, that was also something interesting. They were saying that the chemicals they're putting in the sky, this is according to the news, the chemicals they're putting in the sky is absolutely safe. So, really? Because at first you said it didn't exist. Now you're telling me it's safe. Are there some like magical research tests? Like something that you can give me after telling me it didn't exist? Like, I don't know. Whatevs. We're going to get past this. Edgar said, not sure about weather manipulation. Mama Gaia might not like it. I'm sure she doesn't like it. I'm sure she's gonna, because we are attached to her, I'm sure she's going to fight back pretty soon. Sue said, you are a great spokesperson for humanity. Oh, thank you. I wish I was more eloquent, but Sue said, it reaches many. Caitlin said, from the Oracle of the Fairies, I got look in a book. Hey, I like it. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring you the insight you seek. All right. And by the way, when I was shuffling my cards, I did have a card that flew out from Wally's World. And it's this image here. I know it kind of looks like it's hard to see what's going on here. This is actually a vanishing edge pool. Here we have a bay with some boats here, but this is a pool that's right here. And this was actually submitted from a friend of mine for the Wally's World Oracle. And this was taken in Hawaii. And it was right near where they filmed Gilligan's Island. So that's why, you know, she just felt like it had a really good energy right there, which is why she thought it was a sacred space to her. So let's dive into this and see what Wally has to say. And if you're wondering where Wally is hiding, he's actually swimming in the water right there. There's his little kitten head. Okay, so let's see what Wally has to say. Mm, more challenging of beliefs coming up this week. That's probably why I wanted to talk about what was going on in the sky, because that does, you know, I'm not saying I'm, you know, right. I'm just voicing my opinion. That's what I want people to do. Have thoughts, have opinions, dig deep, do research, you know, so that we can all speak amongst ourselves, so that we can all come to, you know, different conclusions, have different ideas, so that we can be challenged, so that we don't live in a bubble of just our beliefs and our beliefs only. We want to share those things so that we can hear the beliefs of others. What did you get when you tapped into meditation? What did you get when you talked to your higher self? And so it seems like this week there's going to be a more challenging beliefs. And I know that that just kind of happens kind of on a daily basis, but it seems like something a little bit more significant occurring this week. Just like I was talking about the vanishing edge pool here. You know, you're swimming and you think that you're in this big beautiful ocean. You keep going and then all of a sudden there's an edge and I'm falling over the side. It's like, what, you know, all of a sudden there's a brand new world, so to speak, on that other side that we weren't privy to before. that will challenge our previous beliefs. But this is good because remember, the ego can get stuck into things. And the reason it does so is its programming is trying to protect you. And, not so many words where it's wanting to say, don't try this, don't believe this because I don't know what happens beyond that. I don't know what happens there. I don't have an intuition, so I don't know. That's exactly what the ego is. It doesn't have an intuition. So it wants to kind of keep you stuck in a very safe belief system because it knows exactly what will happen by keeping you in that system. It knows that to stay there, these are the pros, these are the cons. I'm very well aware of it, but at least I'm in this bubble and at least I'm safe, or it thinks that it's keeping you safe. And to move outside of that, well, the ego's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's like the fool's leap. It's the fool card, right? I don't know what happens outside of there, so I get very scared. I'm going to tell you that that's not real. I'm going to tell you everything to get you to go back to your little safe bubble. And so I think what I'm getting from here, I feel that that's the challenge that's coming up this week is we're going to have this resistance to this new bit of information that's being presented to us. There's going to be this, no, that can't be right. Because in the world that I previously believed in, that couldn't exist. That was impossible. Now I'm being shown something different, which doesn't match the world that I'm coming from. This is creating a whole new world. And if it's a whole new world, like the song, if this is a whole new world, then how do I operate in it? Who am I in that whole new world? How am I supposed to believe in this whole new world? How, what are my strengths here and what are my weaknesses? So it can be scary. It could be like, feel like it's starting all over again, but that's how you grow and that's how you test the tools that are in your toolkit. You know, eh, what were all those lessons and all those trials and tribulations that you guys have gone through throughout your life, if not to gain tools in the toolbox? So now let's use them. Let all those not let all those things in our past be in vain. They're now coming back to help us because we've gained so much from them. We've learned so much, and we're going to apply that to this week. So this is going to be pretty cool. Big learning for you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to show them. I could show them again. Of course it's not. Here, I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the sun. Let's see if I can get the sun in here. I don't know if it's catching the sun really. I don't know. Anyway, there's a big weird halo around the sun right now. And all the flies coming to say hello. Hello, little flies. And usually when the flies come around, letting us know that there's an entity that I'm not aware of that's here. So um, let's actually pull a card for that because maybe that entity would like to say something. I don't know what entity this is. We'll have to use our own discernment, see what polarity it is. So with that, I'm going to use the solitary witch because, see, and as soon as I acknowledge that the flies were coming to tell me something, they start to disappear. Oh, yes, yes, I know. I'm pulling a card right now. Thank you, Mr. Fly. um, let's see. Let's go back to what you guys were saying. Lisa said, good one, Wally. Caitlin said, from the crystal spirits, I got Apache tears and pyrite at the bottom. Whoa. Susie said, spiritual awakening, the judgment card, ascending to the next level, humanity. Edgar said, dudes, I got strength again, along with 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. A moment of spiritual strength is at hand, a time for self-control. Now is not the time to lose it. Through mastery of ourselves, greater messages can be received so we can move forward. Heck yeah, I love it. And Susie's like, oh, wow. All right, so now that our flies are gone, because now I'm acknowledging that there is a presence here that is beyond my little spidey sense. Let's see. As I say, like tap into everything that's around you, the insects, the plants, the animals, everybody's trying to talk to you. Everybody's trying to tell you something. And I had finally figured out, because sometimes we get harassed by the flies and I don't know why. And so I had tapped into them and they're like, hey, we're here to let you know that sometimes there's things that are beyond your perception of what's there. Like it's hiding itself from your consciousness. And so they're like, we're just here to let you know. And as soon as I acknowledge that, they leave. And so remember the flies were all flying here? I acknowledged what they were trying to tell me. They're gone. So listen to your friends out there. Okay, so let's see. What is this being and what is their message? Why are they here? All right, looks like we've got a card. Love this deck, by the way. Okay. Ooh, we have the dance of water. Oh my God. This is so appropriate to the video that's coming out tomorrow because the entity we tapped into had some sort of connection with water. And it was here before we left for our hike on the 20th, where this entity like wanted to talk. It wanted to have a conversation. We're like, okay, but I wanted to save any sort of conversation for the channeling later. And we weren't even sure if that same entity would come up because we're going way out. It's not like distance makes a difference in the spirit world, but we went way out there, and when I tapped into the channeling, it was that same entity again. And so this card is making me feel like it's that same entity, but I'm wondering why it would hide itself from me. Then if it's wanting to talk, why be sneaky and try to be on my little sense here? So let's dive in. Okay. Still showing itself the way it did in my channeling. All right. So, it wasn't trying to mm, have any sort of malicious intent, or it wasn't trying to be sneaky on purpose, although it was at the same time. It said it knew eventually you would get tipped off to my presence. But I wanted to show you that sometimes, even when you're feeling really connected, even when you feel grounded, connected to the higher self, there's still going to be layers of things, or things that hide behind those layers, I should say, that hide there because they know that they are outside of our perception. And since they know that they are outside of that perception, it's easier to manipulate or offer things in a it just keeps saying sneaky, in a sneaky sense. Like here's some information, but it's not genuine information. And since we can't, or I can't, I don't want to say can't, we can, but maybe we're just not privy to know how to move beyond those like sneaky layers. I don't know if I'm making sense. So let's say something's hiding behind this wall. You don't know it's behind the wall. You're trying to tap into something and say, hey, I want to download about the upcoming week, as we're doing right now. And let's say the entity throws some information from over the wall. You get the information and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the information I was looking for, but it's hard for you to determine where that source of information came from because there's a wall in the way. And so the entity that is coming through again is saying, I want to show you that that does happen. And that's what's going to happen this week, or can happen this week, if you don't try to dig deeper. So it's not that the wall will forever keep you out. It's okay, I got the information. Let's go a little deeper. So then you go towards the wall and you peer over the wall. Who gave me this information? Oh, interesting. And so the entity is saying that's part of the revelation that comes up this week is, sometimes we're so used to connecting in a certain way. We're so used to meditating in a particular way and connecting to the higher self, that it's very easy for those that, let's use a Star Trek term, cloak themselves and offer up information that you think is genuine because, well, it's coming in the way that you've always connected, but it's tainted with a little bit something else unless we decide to question that information and we look deeper. Where did this information actually come from? So, just like we are meant to do in the 3D, which is, check your sources, we're also meant to do in the 4 and 5D and above. So This entity is just like, check your sources this week, even when they're in meditation, check the sources, because that's what's going to aid in that revelation that many people are going to be receiving this week, this kind of questioning of our reality, questioning of our beliefs. And of course, whenever our beliefs are questioned, that's going to be uncomfortable. But if we always stayed comfortable, we would never grow. That's why they call it growing pains. When we're little kids and we're literally growing rapidly, it feels painful because we're outgrowing old skin, old bone, all that stuff. And so if we put that more symbolically, that's kind of our journey as human beings. We keep growing out of our old selves and our old beliefs. So thank you, little water guy. He's not actually from water, but you guys will see in the channeling. it was it was unique, let me tell you. Whoops. Let me just grab this. Sorry, losing cards left and right. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Susie throwing up the fiery hearts. Edgar said, I pulled a card also for the entity and I got 10 of cups water. Dude, Edgar, you and I are like simpatico, dude. Caitlin said, from Wild Muse, I got create and progress with time to move on at the bottom. Edgar's like, what the F? It's raining now. Dude, we have called on the water gods. What the heck, man? Hopefully you stay dry out there. Oh, you know what? If it's warm rain, go dance out in the rain, bro. Michelle, what up, girl? How are you? Caitlin said, from the Energy Oracle, I got the garden and the gate with storm warning at the bottom. Whoa. Apropos, said I suddenly felt called to put on my black pearl ring. There you go. Susie said, Magician in the Mirror. Caitlin, I have that deck too. And Caitlin says, nice. All right. A lot of synchronicities going on. I love it. That's why I love this live chat. Okay. Oh, I wanted to go into the question for the week. So just to reiterate, those people that are popping into the chat now, or they're going to be watching this later on. So I do a little public poll on Thursdays, sometime on Thursdays, and I post 4 questions for cards I could pull, or channeling I could do during the Sunday live chat. And so I post it on the public poll, but I also post it to my YouTube members and to my Patreon peeps. So technically, if you are a YouTube member or you're a part of Patreon or both, you get multiple votes. So if there's a question, like you got a burning desire to hear the answer to that question, then know that you'll get more votes towards making that question reality. And actually, it was pretty close there for a while between the question that won and another question, which is actually the question James voted for. But the question that technically won was James's question, because we try to come up with some of these questions together. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? What are his thoughts? Like, what would you want to know if you could know anything, for the week? What would you know? And I try to think of that too. Like, what would we want to know? All right. It's like a cricket just flew by. I don't know. You know what that almost sounded like a cicada. Oh, maybe they're back. All right. I think we just heard our first cicada of the season just flew by. All right. Cicada message, maybe. Maybe cicada is in on what this question is then. Actually, that kind of does make a little bit of sense if I think about it, right? Let's see. Susie said these were great questions, by the way. Well, thank you. I'll let James know as well. Actually, he can hear. He's over there in earshot. He's having a banana at the moment. Hey, have your fruits today, guys. Let's see. Caitlin said, from Moonology Manifestation, I got full moon in Pisces, forgive. Excellent. All right, so here was the question, and I'm going to use my cannabis oracle for this one. Which matrix illusion is close to crumbling and why? Which matrix illusion is close to crumbling and why? Okay, as we know, there's a lot of layers and layers of illusion, right? And it's just maybe what is the next major one? I know that in our personal lives, we go through I guess you could look at it like an onion, a shedding of our layers, right? Our layers of understanding and awareness, which I guess you could call it the shedding of illusion. So, although we have in our personal lives our personal illusions that are shed, this question was more for the collective as a whole. What is something for us as a whole that is being shed next? All right. And why? Why this one? Why this illusion? Okay. Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? All right. So we have the cannabis oracle here. Let's see what it has to say. Okay. I love these colorful cards, by the way. Lisa said, great question. All right. Let me put this back over here. Okay. Show you guys the shuffle. Some people like the ASMR. Okay. Okay. We have our card. Boom. We have gratitude rampage. It's already happened. And we have this person just kind of chill, laying back. You got all this music around them. So many notes, so many words, so much paper. So let's go in here. For our protection. That's just what I keep hearing over and over again. It's for your protection. We're protecting you. You should be grateful for our protection. Okay. In the more 3D sense, since we are talking about the matrix, it feels like the next big layer for humanity as a whole, not necessarily just for us in our individual lives, but being able to see, and it's looking at it in terms of government and not really in the 4D sense, but in terms of governments around the world, not just a government, but governments around the world. Taking away freedoms in such a way that they tell them this is for their protection. Let's say, and actually it's coming up, let's say you have people in a room in a box, and this is just what it's showing me. And these figures come in, let's call them government, and they say, it's a bad, scary world out there for your kids. So let us take care of your children for you, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. It'll be for your protection and for the protection of your children. We'll handle it. And of course, at first, there's going to be a bit of resistance. People are going to say, wait, what? Are you saying I don't know how to take care of my own kid? You can't just come in here and say you're going to take care of my children for me. But they'll say, you're going to see it's going to get so bad out there that you're going to come crying to us, begging us for this protection. And we can guarantee that no harm will ever come to your child. So eventually the people relent and they say, okay, you can take care of my child for me. And little by little, it's pieces like that where they'll show you that things have gotten so bad, you're going to come crying and crawling to us for that protection. So little by little, people give things away. In this case, they were just giving like a, just an example, not saying that that happens, but they're just saying it would be like that. It would be like giving your children away, basically a piece of your life away, if our children are our life. Saying, here, you can have more of this from me. Take from me because I'm so scared about what's out there. I need you to protect me. And the moment people say, I can protect myself, they say, no, 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 you can't. Because look how scary it is. And actually, we're going to show you instances where people couldn't protect themselves. And now you need us. You know, we're we're basically the mafia. We'll take care of you. You know, you got a word on it, basically. And so that's kind of the next big layer of illusion is what's coming through. And this is more me talking to my higher self, but my higher self is talking to this kind of, I don't know, she's presenting herself like she is Gaia herself, like she's just this big ball of light. And she's saying that's the next layer where people are going to see that they've given away so much because they wanted to be protected. They wanted what's best for their families. They wanted what was best for their communities, their states, their countries, that they were willing to give up pieces of their own life in order to have that protection. But then seeing that that protection was then used against them, that there was no benign intent, that on the surface it may have seemed like it was something for our benefit, that it was good. But on the whole, it turned out it was something that was really not for the best interest of all. And this person, this being that's presenting itself as Gaia is saying, my children are going to, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. But to not berate yourself for it, not to say, oh, I was, you know, how could I have not seen? The reason you couldn't see is because it's crafted in a way for you not to see. She says the miracle is that we are seeing. We are the miracle. And we're starting to see it now. And this is the next big layer, is the layer that we need protection outside of ourselves. She's not talking about the physical self, really. She's talking about the energetic self. That if the energetic self can take care of itself, then the human can too, because you are an energetic being in a physical body. And she said, just food for thought. And it feels like this entity doesn't want to go any deeper into it. She says it's just, we'll leave it at that. Because how people process it and how people go through it is going to be different. People are going to actually see it differently. Remember, nobody's perspective is the same as the next person. But just in terms of the layer that's being peeled back, it's the giving away one's freedoms. Not talking about you know, even freedoms in a country, just freedoms as a human being. Giving away your freedoms because you believe that an entity outside of yourself is better able to protect you than your own self. Being coerced through fear. And she says, that's the next big thing. That's the next big thing. And that's all we'll say. All right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see what you guys have to say. Okay. Let me go back here. I'm going to actually have a little bit of water. Okay. Whew. Let's see. Let's go back here. Edgar said, OMG, when I was little, I lived under a tree full of cicadas. It would get super loud. So cool. Susie liked the back of that deck. Caitlin said, from the Foxfire Oracle, I got leave behind what is no longer you and coming of age with watch and listen carefully at the bottom. And Susie said, birds are chirping, tons of birds here in the olive tree. So cool. Edgar said, okay, my message seems a little dark. Ten of Cups again, King of Cups, and Two of Cups. The illusion that everything is fine and okay with the world. Sometimes you may try your best to communicate with someone, but sometimes people refuse to listen. I feel it's about the government. Government refuses to listen. And Susie said, break the spell, time to wake up for many. Source is good. Edgar said, people have to unite. Yay, Caitlin's back. Susie said, Gaia heals herself quickly. No, she can. Yes. And then Night Daughter got from the crystal grid. I got Loalite, or sorry, Iolite with insight. I was thinking maybe I should wear the lipstick that is closest to the reduced number of tomorrow, which is 10. There we go. Lisa said, wise channeling. Nancy said, wow, what a wake up call message. Dude. Ishani, hey girl, how are you? Happy Sunday. Ishani said, hey Susie, so good to see you. All right, yeah, that's we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that layer goes. But like the entity said, probably the reason it didn't want to get into too much detail is because yeah, the way we perceive it is going to be different. Each and every single one of us. We're all unique beings on this planet with all of our various unique missions. We have our own, blocks, we have our own traumas, we have our own things going on. And so to see a situation going on, everybody's going to see it differently. It's going to affect everybody differently. Everybody's going to grow differently and awaken differently. But yeah, I'm looking anything that's going to help us all. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's see here. Susan said powerful. Well, I think that being for stepping forward with that one. Okay, what I wanted to do now was do our viewers poll, and I had some different suggestions in mind for the viewers poll, but I do like the questions that you guys come up with, because mine were going to be a little bit more nature based, just because feeling super naturey this week. And speaking of nature, let me just pan the camera real quick over here. Let's see if I can turn this. Did I lock the turnability of this thing? Anyway, turn it that way. And we look up. Ta-da! There's a finished shed. So, I mean, may not be super impressive, but I mean, I'm pretty impressed because I know what it represents. James put that together and made the little foundation for it. But it's part one of getting our solar ready. And so that's kind of our thing, living out here on the homestead. We want to be 100%, self-sufficient. And we do need the sun's energy for that. So that we don't, continue to rely on gasoline, running the generator and things like that. But, being able to pump our own water and eventually, have a garden where hopefully maybe we can, I don't know if we'll be able to make enough food to like feed ourselves, but maybe we will. But try our hand at it, and eventually make this a place where we can have our retreat and we can have people here and we can, show people about how we tried our hand at sustainability, and maybe you can try your hand at it too, no matter where you live. Maybe on a smaller scale if you live in a city, maybe on a bigger scale if you live in the country. But yeah, we're doing it here so that hopefully we can, I don't know, show you guys that it can be done. It's not impossible. I mean, I'm not anybody with like a homesteady background. I was a school teacher for a long time, and so we're just learning, as we go, and we just want to show you guys that it is possible. And so that's why I'm super excited about that shed, is because I know that it's one step towards something even better, which is going to be even better. So, and to me, that shed is cool. It's literally got our blood attached to it. See my band-aid. But anyway, so yeah. Okay, let's see here. Do, do, do. Ishani says, I'm good, Tara. How have you been? I love your hat. It's so chic and witchy. Well, thank you. Thank you. Susie said, great job. Kayla said, it's so cute. Susie said, I think it's wonderful. Shawnee thinks it's a cute shed. Yeah, it's a tiny little shed. I think yeah, it's neato. We're gonna put all our like tools and stuff in there, that we collect. Caitlin says, only one of my lipsticks reduces to 10. Raisin Rapture. It's L'Oreal Paris and Brian's part French. Interesting. And then it said, hashtag burning sage. Heck yeah. Susie seconds that, burning sage. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be amazeballs balls when that happens. Having this place all set up. We want to preserve, the nature around here as much as possible, especially knowing that there's a lot of ancient peoples have come through here. So we want to just keep it original, but have enough here to sustain ourselves and, let's say, to sustain a retreat. So which is why we're thinking about going the yurt route, because yurts don't necessarily have to be directly on the ground, which I think would just disturb the soil a little bit too much. They can be on raised platforms, which I think would be really cool. So if we had a lot of little raised platform yurts around here, I think that would be really neat. We can go on hikes, we can learn about gardening, we can learn about growing our own fruits and vegetables, and growing or learning about water, learning about, working with energy. I mean, just, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just excited. Okay. So anywho, I want to leave those 2 questions to you guys. Let me get my pen here. And we're going to call on the Midnight Magic, my Mushrooms Tarot, my new deck, which will help us out with these 2 questions. But listening to all the messages that we got during this chat so far, all the messages that you guys had, that you brought forth, Edgar and his rain over there, and connecting with the water spirit. We were talking about Gaia. We were talking about Earth Day. We spoke about cannabis. So many things. We talked about weather manipulation and all of that. What 2 questions do you think? What question would you have? And anybody can pose a question. What question do you think that would benefit us most at this time? Kind of listening to all the things that you've heard, or just a burning question that you have that you think would help other people. I'll write those 2 questions here, and then we'll vote on them, just like we do. So the first one will be for a red heart emoji. The second question will be for a green heart emoji. But let me know, what burning questions do you think is going to help out people here that we would want to know? Just get my little Yoda pen ready. It says, do not do. Or said, do or do not. There is no try. And then you said, fear is the path to the dark side. Thank you, Yoda. Anywho, let's see. Let's look at what you guys have here. Edgar says, I love the floral embroidery on your sleeves. Thank you. Thank you. I love embroidery so much. Caitlin said, I had a lot of close ones, but that was the one that was exact. All right. Annette loves this deck. Yeah, I'm like, and actually there are little mushrooms that grow around here. Of course, I don't encourage you guys to go just eating fungi all willy-nilly under trees, but definitely tap into their energy and see what you could learn. Let's see. Caitlin said, okay, so she's got a question. All right. How can we retain our spiritual energy without feeling drained? Let's put that down. How can we retain our spiritual energy without, is it feeling drained? Feeling drained, yeah. Okay, and then Nancy said, so gorgeous. It is awesome that James and you will honor your land and all the ancestors there. Yes. Okay, let's see. Edgar says, how can we smack sense into these people in Florida? Joking. Okay, so we have our first question. Edgar, you silly. Let's see. Ishani has a question though. Why are there so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities going on around the world? Okay, so why are there so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities going around the world, going on around the world. Okay, let's write that down. There so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities. Going on around the world. The world. Okay. Edgar says, how can we better communicate our thoughts to others so we can come to terms? All right. You know what, Edgar? That would probably be a really good question for, you know what? That's a good question. Let's do 3, you guys. What do you think? I think we could do that. Okay. So let's add Edgar's question. How can we better communicate our thoughts to others so we can come to terms? Okay. Our thoughts. So, to terms. All right. So we have 3 questions then. All right. 3 questions. This will be a fun one. We get to do 3 hearts. Okay. So here's how it will go. Just like normal, except now we have 3 questions. And put this over here. And I thank you guys for submitting your questions. Thank you. Thank you. Caitlin says, again, I'm in the same boat as last week. I won't be able to super chat. No worries. Just like Susie said, Edgar said, OMG, Susie, you had me rolling. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right. Viewers poll, except we have 3 questions. I think this is going to be fun. I was thinking of saving it for next week, but I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. It's a good question. So, for the first question, if you like it, we'll do the red heart emoji. For the second question, if you like it, we'll vote with a green heart emoji. For the third question, if you did it, we're going to vote with a purple heart emoji because I like purple. So we're just going to throw that in. Also, James' favorite color. So next to green. Okay. So here are the questions. Question number 1. How can we retain our spiritual energy without feeling drained? How can we retain our spiritual energy without feeling drained? If you like that question, vote with a red heart emoji, or if you don't have access to your emojis, type the words red heart. Question 2. Why are there so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities, going on around the world? Why are there so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities going on around the world? If you like that question, go ahead and vote with a green heart emoji or type the words green heart. Question number 3. How can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms? How can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms? If you like that question, vote with a purple heart emoji or type the words purple heart. All right, we'll do a little Jeopardy music. And here we go. 3 questions, you guys. Red heart, green heart, or purple heart. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. We got 3 questions and 3 hearts. Dude. All right, you guys, keep it voting. Looks like we already have some hearts coming on in. We got red hearts, we got green hearts, we got purple hearts. We got it all. Okay, hold on. Got cards flying all over. It's crazy. All right, let's look back here. Oh, and our friend Diamond is here. Hello, hello. Okay, so let's count up these votes then. It looks like I'll start with the red hearts, then I'll count our green hearts, and then I'll count purple. Okay, Caitlin's coming in with her red hearts. Hold on, just counting hearts at the moment. Okay, let's see if we have any green hearts. Going back, looking. I do not see any green hearts. Okay, let's go back and let's count our purple hearts. Susie coming in with a purple heart. Kayla coming in with a purple heart. Oh, wait, we did have a green heart. Sorry, Edgar. Edgar had the green heart. So we had one vote for red, one vote for green from Edgar. And then let's count those purples. Susie, Kayla, Liesel, Ishani, Nancy, and Diamond. All right. So again, those questions were the red heart was how can we retain our spiritual energy without feeling drained? The green heart question, why are there so many upheavals, natural and man-made calamities going on around the world? And the third and winning question was how can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms? So thank you to all three homies that helped us out with those questions. So Edgar and Ishani and Caitlin, thank you, thank you. All right, and like I said, I have our midnight magic. I have our mushrooms tarot here with us. Oh, Annette says, gotta go for now. The girls are awake, and since I'm not here Saturday mornings, I try to be present on Sunday mornings. I'll watch the rest in replay. Love you all. All right, bye, Annette. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good Sunday. Give lots of love to the girls. Um, Diamond saying hello. Annette says, that's bad. Edgar didn't vote for his own question. Well, I do that too. Sometimes I'll come up with questions. I don't even vote for my own questions. I'm just throwing them out there, you know. um, Edgar says, I also find the why to be important as well. Exactly. Okay, so how can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms? Okay, and perhaps even why. Yes. Okay, so let's give a little shuffle here. How can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms, maybe, and why? I have a yellow submarine stuck in my head. All right, looks like we have our card. I'm gonna put this over here. Oops, where did I put that card? Oh, I put it here. Okay, let's not lose our cards. Let's put them there in their little box. Sometimes the wind likes to be cheeky and steal our cards from us. Susie said purple wins. Thank you all. Yes, thank you, thank you. Just making sure I didn't drop anything. All right, we'll take a little sip of water and we'll see what the mushrooms had to say on this. Okay. So, how can we better communicate our thoughts so we can come to terms? And we have the Seven of Pentacles. This particular mushroom is called Dune Cup, which is interesting. It's got all this water back here. It's got a seashell, a couple of seashells. So again, that watery energy. And I think that it's interesting since this question actually came from Edgar and he was pulling up a lot of cups cards. He was talking about, you know, the water energies. He was actually connecting with the water energy here. It started raining over there. So I think that it's appropriate that it's in this card as well. But let's dive into it. So Seven of Pentacles, what an interesting little mushroom there. Okay. Mm, okay, I got you. Okay, so this little this little watery mushroom here is talking about when when we're communicating with others. and let's say you feel very strongly about something. It's important to let people know why you feel a particular way when it comes to that opinion that you have of something, and that you don't always have to have a strong emotion about something when communicating to others. So let's take something benign, for example. Somebody asks you, "What do you want for dinner?" which is what I get asked every day. "What do you want for dinner?" Um, and let's say I say, "I don't know, maybe mac and cheese." We don't have mac and cheese, by the way, but that would be nice. um, and but maybe we can say why. The other person might say, "Oh, okay. Well, why do you want mac and cheese?" And you might just say, "Oh, just 'cause." But there's a reason. Maybe you're feeling a little like blah, and I just want some comfort food. I just want some mac and cheese. Then we dig a little bit deeper. Well, why are you feeling blah? And this is where the deeper communication comes in. So it goes beyond just what do you want for dinner to now let's get into why you're feeling the way you're feeling at this moment. And so this little mushroom here is saying that's how we can enhance our communication so that we can the better we can understand what's actually going on emotionally and what's going on in the lives of others, and you communicate that, not expecting people to just know, the better we can come to an agreement of some sorts or agree to disagree, but at least we understand where the other person is coming from fully. But it's also our 50%, our part, to convey that information to the other person or to the other party. So, whatever it is that we're speaking upon, you may have some strong opinions or not have some strong opinions on something, but you have to state why you have those opinions and where are they actually coming from. So, if you now let's take a more heated topic, let's say, something that comes up in the news, and you feel very strongly about it, and you feel very strongly that you're right and the other person is wrong, but you have to say why. Why do you feel that way? And maybe in your mind you say, but it's obvious. It's obvious why this should be right and this is why I feel, but it may not be obvious to the other person. Remember that we all have varying perspectives in this world. And we may see something very strongly, but the other person may not. And to believe that the other person sees exactly as we believe, well, that would be very difficult. So this mushroom is saying, if you do, let's say, have these strong opinions, oh, I believe that this is right, and I feel very strongly about it to the point where I'm super angry or I'm super sad, and the person may ask, why do you feel that way? And instead of blowing them off, you say, well, this is why I feel this way, and this is where this is actually coming from, and it stems from something that happened to me when I was younger, and so now it triggers me when I'm older, and so this is why I fight for this, or this is why I view things this way. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting to a deeper conversation. And the mushroom is saying, as all this, as you can see in the picture, all these things coming out from inside the mushroom, that oftentimes our opinions on things and the things that we're talking about, we're not actually talking about those topics. In the surface sense, it may appear as though we're talking about those surface topics, whatever the popular topic du jour is in the news these days. You may feel that that's what we're actually talking about, but it's deeper. We have to get past the topic itself and figure out where is that emotion coming from, and where is that coming from, and where is that coming from, and dig and dig and dig. Just like you would want that person to convey to you why they're feeling that way. Let's go back, let's dig deeper. And this is where we help to heal each other. This is the coming to terms. This is where we find that there's a root cause for everything, where all of our beliefs, all of our opinions, even the strong emotions are coming from. And we dig deep into it and we help each other to heal that way when we keep asking, but why? Why do you feel that way? Let's go back. And we do that with a compassionate heart and we help them through it, just like they would help us through our healing process. That's what this mushroom is saying. This is where the deepest form of communication and the coming to terms is, going beyond what the topic is and going into where that feeling is actually coming from. Where does it truly, truly stem from? And you may find it had nothing to do with the topic at all. It was merely just a trigger for something that was deep, deep seated and needed healing. Okay, thank you, little Dune Cup. Dude, I love this deck so much. These little mushrooms, they speak to me so strongly. I love this deck. It's just so good for my intuition. Okay, let's see what you guys have here. Um, Caitlin says, I'm still tired from the trip. I need to rest for tomorrow. Blessed be everyone. Have a good night. Take care over there. Susie said, bye, Caitlin. Have fun in New York City. Good luck at your concert. And she said, thanks, Susie. Also, during the write up, I received a message that I'll follow Light by Fire, utilize Creation's Wand. Edgar said, Queen of Swords, Hermit, and King of Wands. We must learn to look to wisdom, knowledge, and truth, and not just our passions. Hey. Susie drew the High Priestess. Ah. Susie said, Tara, it's the High Priestess. Thank you, thank you. Kayla said, that deck is awesome. Dude, I'm telling you. This one came off the Amazons, but it's by Sarah Richard, and she's the creator and the artist of this deck. So maybe give it a gander. Yeah, so I don't know like too much about like mushrooms as a fungi. You know, I know kind of the major, I guess, more popular type mushrooms, but this one tapping into their actual like energy and kind of speaking with them, it's interesting, and this a good segue I think this deck is. Okay, let me grab your paper here. All right, so thank you again to everybody who submitted questions. Those were lovely, and thank you, Edgar, for that question, for being our Purple Hearts. All right, so we are at the point in our chat where we have super stickers and super chats, and let's see, what deck do I want to use? You know what? I have the Wild Woman Rising here. So this is where you, if you have a question, a personal question, and you would like me to pull a card on it, you could do a super chat or super sticker. If you want to do something a little bit bigger and more in private, then you can head over to my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have a lot of different types of readings. Some people truly just need a one card reading, but they just don't want to do it live during a live chat. So I do have one card readings over in my shop if you're interested in that. But like I said, I do bigger readings as well, and a lot of different reading styles. So not everybody connects with tarot, but they like crystal scrying. So I have crystal scrying. I have Lenormand. I have, you know, all different types of things. I also do one-on-one channeling sessions, just like I do in my videos that I put out where I channel an entity. I can do that during people's sessions as well. So check out the live one-on-one channeling session. So it's a direct channeling, I will say. So it's where I have to truly put myself to the side and let whoever or whatever that you ask for to come through to speak directly to you. And you can just ask them questions just like James does during the channeling videos. You guys would be James, and that'll be me. You know, just channeling as I do. So yeah, lots of stuff over there. Definitely check it out, and maybe check out the Mayan astrology destiny charts. I like doing those. All right, so we have Michelle. A message from Michael, please. Sure. Let's see. Edgar says, every time I hear about taking a gander, I remember Peter Griffin being told to take a gander underneath my flock, and he shoves a gander under the woman's dress. Wow. I used to watch Family Guy. Yes. All right, Michelle, let's see. We got a deck of cards here. Put this back in here. I like the inside here. It's got the cool white wolf. Okay, so a message from Michael. All right, message from Michael or Miko. Message from Michael. Okay, so interesting. Michelle, before I even pull a card, I'm just trying to tap into your energy and the energy of the person you're asking for, Michael. And I keep seeing Saturday Night Fever. Like I hear the music, I see John Travolta, and I don't know. I let you know, as things come in, but that's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm seeing. except John Travolta is not wearing his signature like white polyester suit. It's a purple polyester suit. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, the winds are coming in. Hope my hat doesn't blow off. Ooh, okay. Okay, we have fight like a girl. I love the imagery in this card. Look at all that solar plexus power, but it's also right there in the heart chakra. You got our higher self just boom, it's blooming, the crown chakra, everything. Roots coming up, totally grounded in this powerful kind of warrior type energy. I'm trying to like ask this energy, like, what did that have to do with Saturday Night Fever? Okay, it's the bravado. Oh, okay. So Michael's saying, um, just like in this card, and just as I was describing, there's all this solar energy, this person totally grounded, connected. They know what's in their heart. They're not afraid to speak it. They're not afraid to take action in their truth and what they believe is for their best and highest good. Um, again, through that connection to their higher self. And so I'm like, well, why Saturday Night Fever? And it's showing me, it says, okay, when the most famous part in the movie, you think of John Travolta and he's just like doing that pose or whatever out on the disco floor in the discotheque. Um, and he has that bravado about himself. I know who I am. I dress how I want. I know I can dance, and I don't care who sees me. I'm just gonna strike a pose and here we go. And so Michael's saying that's kind of the energy he would like you to embody, that one where being who you are, and and he's saying you already know who you are, but it's like truly filling that role of who you are. Like, I know what I want, I know what I believe in, but somehow holding yourself back just a little bit, for could be fear of rejection, for fear of what others may say. Maybe you feel that you may make them uncomfortable. But he's like, look at Saturday Night Fever. Do you think that maybe there were some people uncomfortable, there on the disco floor? They probably were. They were like, oh wow, look at this guy. He's like, I could never do that. But that didn't stop him from being himself. He just knew that that's him. He likes to dance, he's going to dance. He wants to dress in a white polyester suit, he was going to dress in a white polyester suit. But this also empowered other people around him to be like, okay, well then I'm going to do my thing on the dance floor. So you empower others by empowering yourself, by disempowering yourself and keeping yourself small, so to speak, or holding back or biting your tongue, or maybe I won't do that because I might offend somebody, is actually teaching them to disempower themselves, which is the opposite of what you want, right? Because you want to help people, you want to empower them. Um, but sometimes they need to be shown the way, and the way they get shown the way is to be put into an uncomfortable place. If you keep them comfortable, they will never grow. So Michael's like, if you want to don that polyester suit, go ahead and get out there. Um, but you already know who you are. He doesn't need to explain it. This is something that you, through your spiritual journey, you've come to realize. You already know what you want to do. You already are taking some action, but this is fully stepping into it, not tentatively stepping, but fully stepping into it. All right, girl, you got this. You got this. A lot of Michael really wanted that purple suit though. Wanted it to be the purple polyester suit. Interesting. um, let's see, let's go back here. Oh, Mikiel. Sorry about that. She's saying hello to Lisa. Susie sending love to Michelle. So Mikiel. So yeah, it was just interesting. I just keep seeing it was the John Travolta Saturday Night Fever striking the pose, but in a purple suit, not a white suit. Um, yeah, just so much like you're right there, like where you have all of the things you need, you know who you are, but it's like that if I, what if I fully stepped into it? Like, what if I fully embodied it? It might be a little scary because not knowing how the world would take that or the people around you. But yeah, this person was just saying like you have to because it's how actually how you help people. Yes, there's the people coming to you for help, you know, but there's also the you just being you is also the other way that you help people. Wow. Wow, man. I'm gonna show that again. I like this one. Michelle said, "Thank you, Tara. That's an amazing message. That makes so much sense. He's one of my guardian angels." Well, hey, man, maybe you want to listen to some Bee Gees tonight. I don't know. Oh, you can tell by the way, I'm a ladies' man, and that's a fact. Maybe I'll go listen to the Bee Gees later. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle, for letting me connect to your guardian angel. Yeah, it was just I couldn't really see the being, but it was more like, don that purple suit. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. If anybody else would like super chat or super sticker, I'd love to bust out these cards. The Wild Woman Rising. Actually, here's the backs. They got a nice gilded edge, although maybe I'm wearing off the gilding. I don't know. I've been shuffling it for a while. Anywho, um, yeah, lots of amazing messages today. I definitely enjoyed all the cards that you guys pulled. I enjoyed your messages, your thoughts. Like I said, this is why we do these live chats. You know, it's not for me to sit here and say, these are the messages and this is how the world works and this is how it is. You know, I'm here expressing what my intuition is telling me. I'm expressing my opinions and I'm hoping kind of like through what Michelle's guardian angel was saying, I'm hoping that by me, I guess, leading by example, that you guys do the same, that in your own lives, you share what your intuition is saying. You guys share your opinions and don't hold back. Sure, they maybe, you know, they're going to be different than other people's opinions. In fact, I guarantee they're going to be different than other people's opinions because we're all different beings on a different mission. But that shouldn't be why we hold our, you know, what we know back, because otherwise we don't learn and other people will never hear the beautiful things that you guys have to share, the beautiful things that you guys have to say, because you're here to be you, and people don't know who you are unless you share that with others. So anyway, let's go ahead and go into our healing sesh. Actually, I brought a tool with me that I haven't brought in a little while, but I thought would be really good, connecting to the heart chakra, as you know I love to do. And it's in this beautiful case here. Um, Michelle's cracking up over there. Um, Ishani said, beautiful. All right, so I have a quartz tuning fork. So this is actually made out of quartz, which is pretty cool. Susie is open to healing. This isn't so much for the sound as it is the vibration. So it doesn't have a big clongy sound. I know that there are other tuning forks out there which are pretty badass, you know, and they have not only the frequency, but they're, you can hear them, you can feel them. This one you can feel, especially when you you know, place it on parts of your body. You feel that heart chakra healing, and that just healing in general, but it's more of the vibration. I want you guys to tap into the vibration that's coming through here. So let me put my little dealy bob here. And I'm going to get us into a nice little comfortable space. And then I'm just going to have us again go into that heart chakra, or go into the chakra that you feel you would like to speak to most, strengthen most, learn about most. Maybe a lot of us don't work with the root chakra very much. So maybe today you want to go into that root chakra, see what does root chakra have to say? What does that energy inside of you have to say? Maybe you're having trouble expressing something, or you're a little nervous about it. So maybe today you want to go into the throat chakra. What does your body or the energy center in you want to say about your communication, about your expression? So that's where I want to take us in the meditation is where in your body, what area of your life do you feel you want to learn more about or do you want to strengthen? Okay. And we have our little birdies out there chirping away. They're also wanting to help us with communication. Maybe I'll go into the throat chakra. I don't know. All right, you guys. Get nice and comfy. Those little chirpies out there sound like our house finches. We have little finchies around here. So maybe some of you guys want to get into your own song, your vibration, your voice. Just get nice and comfortable. You could be sitting down, laying down, laying in the grass, sitting under a tree, laying in bed, sitting in a chair. All that matters is this moment right now. And we bring our awareness inwards. And as we do, we feel the rise and fall of our chest. We feel our breath moving in and out of our body. We feel the air on our skin. It could be warm, it could be cool, it could be freezing. We're just feeling all of the sensations. Maybe you feel your muscles starting to relax. Maybe a twitch in the calf muscle here. Maybe a little movement in the shoulders. We're just noticing the body as it settles. Maybe you are unclenching your jaw. Many of you beginning to close your eyes. You feel perhaps your hair in the breeze. Maybe the texture of the blanket across your lap. Maybe you hear the sounds around you. The gentle hum of the wind, which sounds like the ebb and flow of the tide in an ocean. Maybe you hear the birds. Maybe you hear the rain. And as you breathe in and out, we accept that all those things that we hear are a part of us. The buzzing of the bees, the crunching of dirt as people walk by. Everything is us. And I ask you to go into the part of your body or the area in your life that you would like to learn from most. Where would you like to grow from most? And have a conversation with that aspect of you. It can present itself however it wishes, whatever's comfortable for you. Perhaps you want to have a chat with your communication. Allow an archetype to fill that communication form. Perhaps you want to talk about your moon cycle. Maybe you want to have a chat about what masculinity is. Maybe a chat about your own empowerment, your own magic. Maybe a chat with your higher self. But go there now. thank the being who stepped forward, the aspect of you, for coming forward in this meditation, for helping you out with guidance, with suggestions, with healing. Bring your awareness back into your body and know that you can come back to this space whenever you wish. You can connect to these aspects of yourself whenever you wish for true healing to occur. And when you feel ready, go ahead and wiggle those fingers and toes. Open your eyes, breathe in a nice big breath of fresh air. And I thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Thank you for everybody who joined in on the chat, everybody who was chatting away, sharing information, downloads, sharing your cards, even for our lurkers out there. People were just tuning in and listening. Thank you. And for everybody who's going to listen to this in the future. And of course, love and healing to everybody who doesn't even know that we exist. Put that out there for all of our brothers and sisters, our collective consciousness that is out there. So thank you guys so much. Let's see, there was a lot of wonderful emojis kind of going on during that session. Susie said it was beautiful energy. Eric said, holy crap, I went to another plane and I forgot I was here. That's the kind of meditations I like, bro. Susie said, we love and appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys. Um, Kayla saying thank you, Ashani, thank you guys, Lisa, everybody was here. Edgar, thank you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a fantastic week. Remember, be open to those revelations this week, and yeah, allow it to aid us in our healing and our growth. Love you guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye.